Instruction on entering data on the web. I'm going to go to the Magruder homepage here and get to the data reporting website by clicking on Lab Portal. Type in my login and my password. The page it brings me to after typing login and password is this page here with a table of active samples and a table of old archive samples. You can only enter data on the samples in the active sample table. There is one sample in this table, sample number 150311 for the 2015 regular check sample program. You click on the data submission and receipts link to get to the place where you want to enter data. When you come to this web page for the first time, you'll see a table that has no rows on it, like you're seeing right now. There's a number of different ways you could enter data. I'm going to show you one way and talk about others, but the way I'm going to do it now in this example is, let's say I don't have any results yet and I just want to go in there and enter the methods in which I'm going to collect results on. So I want to enter the method codes. I have to hit the Add New Row button with the left mouse button, and it adds a new row in this table. And you see the blank cells available for data is the method code and the two results. I'm going to enter the method code, and the first method I'm going to enter for this sample is nitrogen. Now it's very important to enter the correct method code. It's highly recommended and really a requirement that you review the new method code table that is posted on the Magruder homepage to ensure you're using the correct method code for the results that you will enter. Let me show you how to get to the new method code table. You click on the information button up on the top here with the left mouse button, and that takes you to this window of information, and there's a link to the Magruder homepage right here at the top, and you click on that. That brings you to the Magruder homepage. Now these web pages come up as separate web pages as tabs, so we could easily go back to the data reporting website when we're ready to. The method code table is under this link called Method Codes, and it brings up the table of all the new method codes. I'll go down and scroll to total nitrogen, and I see the methods, and the one I want to use is total nitrogen via combustion, 0.60. You could review it this way, or you could print off the method code table, and because it's pretty lengthy, but about 6-7 pages, and you could review the methods that you're going to enter. But for nitrogen, I know which one it is, and let's say I've already reviewed the ones for phosphorus, potassium, and sulfur on the methods I'm going to enter. And then I go back to the data reporting website that had the secure log on. And to get back to the sample table, I click on the samples button on the top here. Gets me to the active sample table. I click on data submission and receipts again, and I get to this table where I had the method code that I was going to enter, and I type in 010, and typing in the first 3 characters of the method brings a drop-down list of all the methods for that analyte. I misspoke there when I said method. The first 3 characters are the analyte. So when I typed in 010, which is designating total nitrogen as the analyte, it brings down a drop-down list of all the methods for that analyte. The one I want to choose is total nitrogen combustion, so I just click on that. I could have typed in 010.60 and it would still have taken it okay. So you could either select from the drop-down list or actually enter the full method code. I'm going and hit add new row to enter the available phosphorus method code 041 it begins with, and then the method I want is 041.21. Hit add new row for phosphorus. The method is 0.61 for that. And then sulfur, the method code starts with 148 for total sulfur. And the method I want to choose is ICP analysis and microwave digestion 0.07. It's very important for sulfur to review the sulfur method codes because they've changed. The old method code for sulfur does not exist anymore. There's a lot more detail in the sulfur method codes that delineate the form of sulfur being analyzed and the sample, the type of sample being analyzed. So really make sure that you look at the sulfur method codes carefully. Okay, I've added the method codes for the analytes that I'm going to enter results in. Let's say I'm going to enter the results in a couple days. I don't have the results yet. So I've done my job today and I've entered the rows for these analytes. Now it's very important before I exit the program here to save what I've done. So you hit the save button. And before I hit the save button, notice that the status says new. It's not going to save these rows in the table unless that status changes to save. Sorry about that. Let me quit that program. So I want to save these rows in the table, so I make sure I hit the save button. When I hit save, the status changes to last saved, and it gives me the date that it was saved, and it gives me a yellow bar saying your data has been saved. So I'm good to go to exit out of the program. Let's say I've exited, I come back a couple days later, log in. Whoops, got to type in my login correctly. And I come back to this table here of active samples. I hit data submission and receipts. And now I'm ready to enter the results. And let's say I've got results for both result 1 and result 2 that I'm going to enter them all together. You could do it that way, or you could enter all the data for results 1 at one day, and then when you get result 2 data, you could enter it at that time. So many different ways you could enter the data in bits and pieces. But in this example, I'm going to show that I've got data for both result 1 and 2, and I'm going to enter it all together here. And you can enter up to 4 decimal places. If I try to enter a 5th decimal place, it gives me an error message saying the format is only up to 4 decimals. Okay, so I won't enter 4 decimals on every one. I'll just do the very first result with 4 decimals. I keep hitting tab, and tab will take me to the next available cell that I can enter data on. And for available phosphorus, I'll enter that. After I've entered the data, again, it's very important to hit the save button, because if you exited the window without hitting save, it will not save the data you just entered. It may be a little confusing now because I'm doing this the same day, but if I come back and enter data a couple days after adding these rows and method codes, I should have an older date here. So, just ensure that this is today's date and that you hit save before you exit to make sure that the data is saved. I hit save and it says your data has been saved. So that is the instruction on entering data.